Hello, viewers, and a very warm welcome to this episode of the Indian Lawyer Legal Tips. I am Sushila Varma, Advocate and Chief Consultant at the firm. Today, we bring to you a topic that would be of great relevance to many senior citizens who have been abandoned by their children. Let us now proceed further to understand what are the laws that support senior citizens. In India, we have an act called the Maintenance and Welfare of Parents and Senior Citizens Act 2007. This act has been specifically enacted to ensure that senior citizens are maintained and their welfare is taken care of by their children and, in case they don't have children, then by their relatives. Though the Criminal Procedure Code has a provision for maintenance, the said process is very lengthy. Because of this, the legislature decided to have a specific act which we are now referring to as the Senior Citizens Act so that senior citizens could get quick access to justice. The idea behind this particular act is that there would be speedy redressal. As per this act, there is a section 5 which mandates that all matters which come up before the maintenance tribunal must be concluded within 90 days. This may, however, not be the reality, but it is certainly much better than what would have happened if one went to a criminal court asking for maintenance, or if one went to a civil court asking for maintenance as senior citizens. So compared to those timelines, a 90-day period which may be extended due to the work pressure is still a better option than waiting for years. Now, let us come to what is important, and that is who is a senior citizen. According to the Senior Citizens Act, a senior citizen is any person who's aged or who has attained the age of 60 or above. And children would include son, daughter, grandson and granddaughter, but would not include a minor. Now, when we talk about maintenance would include food, clothing, residence, medical treatment, and medical attendance as and when required. There is a section 4 in this particular act which says that when a senior citizen is unable to maintain himself or herself from his own earnings or out of the property owned by him or her, that particular person shall be entitled to move an application under section 5 in case of a parent or grandparent against one or more of the children who are not minors, and in case the senior citizen is childless, then against such relative who would in all likelihood inherit the property of the senior citizen after their death. Now, another thing that would cross your mind is, where can the proceedings be initiated? The answer is simple: where the senior citizen resides or where the children or relatives reside. Now, where will it be filed is the maintenance tribunal. A special tribunal has been constituted, and this tribunal is presided by an officer who is not below the rank of a sub-divisional officer of a state. It's a quasi-judicial body. Now, section 9 also lays down that if a senior citizen is dissatisfied with the way he or she is being treated by their children, then the senior citizen can approach the maintenance tribunal and seek for maintenance to be paid by the children who are neglecting him or her. Sadly, the maximum maintenance allowed under this act is only Rs 10,000 per month, but depending on the circumstances, the court could do justice by ensuring that they give sufficient means to the senior citizen to meet all the expenses, whether it's food, clothing, medical, entertainment, etc. Now, another very interesting provision is that there is a section 24 which says that if a senior citizen is not looked after by the relatives or by the children and is abandoned, then that senior citizen can make a complaint, and the people who have abandoned that senior citizen will end up being punished with imprisonment for up to 3 months and with fine or with both. So there is a provision of punishing people who are abandoning senior citizens. Now, this offence, of course, is bailable, and it's cognizable and can be summarily tried by a magistrate. Now, what is it that one has to do to make an application for maintenance under this Act? Well, to begin with, a senior citizen can, or a parent, as the case may be, can make a complaint to the concerned court. And in the event that the senior citizen is unable to make the application, he or she can approach any voluntary organization that would take care of the same. The tribunal also has the power to suo motu take cognizance of cases where a senior citizen has been abandoned or has been neglected. One very interesting question that may be there in the minds of many is, can a senior citizen claim maintenance under the criminal laws as well as under the Senior Citizens Act? The answer is a negative. No, you can only claim maintenance under one particular law and not under both laws. For the ease of the senior citizens, now there is a bill called the Maintenance and Welfare of Parents and Senior Citizens Amendment Bill 2019 that seeks to start the National Commission for Senior Citizens. It also seeks to ensure that that at every police station there is one dedicated police official who will look into the issues that senior citizens face. The bill is, however, yet to be passed, and as and when it will get passed, it's only then that this particular National Commission for Senior Citizens will get established. However, the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment, in consultation with the state governments of several states, has started a scheme called the Elderline National Helpline for Senior Citizens, which is a toll-free number, and the number is mentioned on the screen below. The aim of this particular toll-free number is to provide free information, guidance, emotional support, and also intervene in cases of abuse and rescue senior citizens who are victims of abuse. At present, the helpline is doing quite well and it is operational in 31 states in India. Now let us see what the courts have to say about senior citizens and their rights. In a case passed in 2019 by the Delhi High Court called Varma versus Kanika Pasricha, there was a imbalance in the household because the daughter-in-law and the son were not on good terms with each other. As a result of which, the senior citizens who owned the property were always put to great inconvenience and discomfort. The daughter-in-law insisted that she had a right to stay in the house of the in-laws despite the acrimony that was there in the house. Apart from that, she was also neglecting the senior citizens completely. The husband had already left the residence and was staying separately. The court was of the opinion that if the daughter-in-law is ill-treating her parents-in-law, and the parents-in-law have every right to ask for the eviction of the daughter-in-law. The court asked the daughter-in-law to go, but yes, the husband was asked to make some arrangement for a residence for the wife who had to leave the home of the senior citizens, which was also a matrimonial home. In another case, Sudesh Chikara versus Ramti Devi, it's a 2021 Supreme Court case. In this particular case, the lady concerned, that's Ramti Devi, had a huge piece of land which she made the mistake of passing on to her son and two daughters by way of a release deed. As a result of which, what happened is once the children got the property, they neglected the Ramta Devi, who was their mother. She then went to the maintenance tribunal and made a complaint about how her children were neglecting her. The maintenance tribunal was of the opinion that the children had the responsibility, that is the daughters had the responsibility to maintain their mother and passed an order accordingly. However, the daughters went in appeal to the High Court in a writ petition. The High Court also upheld the maintenance tribunal's order. However, when the matter went up to the Supreme Court, it was decided on a technical issue and the interpretation of Section 23 of the Act, and it was held that because the pleadings filed by Ramta Devi did not have any specific averment that she was being neglected or that she was not being provided for by the daughters. The court felt that the maintenance tribunal, by just passing a particular judgment in her favor, may not have done so correctly. What they felt was that even the release deed by which Ramti Devi had signed off her properties did not have any mention that the daughters and the son had to maintain her after she released her rights in the property. Dear senior citizens, life is not very easy these days, and it's rather sad that many senior citizens are neglected by their children. A small piece of advice from me would be that yes, give your property to your children, your grandchildren, your relatives, but do it only by way of a will. Do not make the mistake of giving your property to the relatives or to the children during your lifetime, as there are many cases of abuse, and it is not necessary that your children will behave in a manner that will be as per your expectations. If you have found this video useful, may I please request all viewers to share it with senior citizens who are going through a bad time. Let them approach the maintenance tribunal and get their dues. If you have found this episode useful, please like, share and subscribe and help us to spread legal knowledge amongst one and all. Thank you for watching us today. Till we meet each other next week. Thank you.